if you have successfully been taking my plays pretty much from around week 13 or so on and doing the flip side, you'd be doing extremely magnificent, as you would have went 2-0 yesterday, as I go 0-2. Now today, I'm doing this video, I think it's about 11:30 or so a.m. Eastern time. And I read yesterday on the internet that quarterback Brady Quinn has been taking half of the reps in practice alongside with Tim Tebow. Now, originally, Brady Quinn denied the fact that he did anything differently within his routine of game preparation, which is obviously false if he took as many reps as he did. And I heard on one article that they were going to be using him on second and long and third and long situations. Now, it's extremely highly unlikely that anyone watched any of my old videos when I talk about quarterback by committee, given the fact that I average about 12 views a video, up to 13 to 16. That doesn't make sense. Now, I did once go on the Broncos posting forum and talk about the quarterback by committee via text, but they're not going to listen to me. They're going to think I'm crazy. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. Not as many as they used to be now, but they plan on possibly running quarterback by committee, because that's what they say, second and third and long situations. Now, I stated on my other channel, I did a video this last weekend, really yesterday, from the update of this upload, which was called Winning Investing Strategies 101. And one of the things I stated for pro football was to take the better coach in the Super Bowl. The significant reason is because not only are they the better coach, but when the stakes are at their grandest, you get a full 2 weeks to prepare for the game. Usually the guy with a better game plan is going to outperform the opponent, thus they should cover the spread. And I think Sean Payton by far is the #1 coach in the league. And of the 12 remaining teams in the playoffs, I figured John Fox was about ranked number 12, and the only coaches in the league that might be worse than John Fox might be someone like Pat Shurmur. He's bad. Now, if you really wanted to do quarterback by committee, one, why are you doing it with Brady Quinn? Now, I understand that you know something about him and you're just going to unveil it in the AFC wildcard game. You're going to unveil this greatest quarterback by committee. In fact, the element of surprise is so amazing. If that's the case, awesome job. I won't make you the worst coach in football, but I don't think that's the case. And if you want to do quarterback by committee, like I say, I'm all for it. I think it's amazing type of system as long as you got the right players for it and you prepare for it effectively. Tim Tebow, right player for it? Check mark. Brady Quinn for this right situation? Question mark with most likely you need quality, talented players to play. I don't care what great system you play. If the guys can't do it, you ain't going to succeed. That's like the total bottom line within the situation. And the fact that you prepare for this 5 days before the game, something that should be done, if not at the start of training camps, within the regular season, you take time to implement it in, then that really makes me even wonder on if even John Fox is better than Pat Shurmur at coaching the National Football League. And I don't give much respect at a professional level for how good Pat Shurmur can coach professional football players. Because you're going to do this against a Pittsburgh Steelers defense with a short amount of practice and a very low quality, talented quarterback. If that's not a recipe for failure, then I don't know what is. Now, from what I've been hearing from John Fox, apparently what they're stating is that if it looks not so good, it's in the third quarter, you just might want to pull Tim Tebow and put in Brady Quinn. And again, I'm shaking my head about this whole situation. And what you're essentially doing is going from a okay chance of coming back to really no chance, or a much lower chance of coming back, because that's what Tim Tebow has done on so many occasions this year, is when it seems they're all done in the fourth quarter and there's nothing to do but to lose, you come back. 3 times this year I've given up on the team in the fourth quarter, and I'm a very optimistic-minded type of guy, and he still came back. Because if a team's down by 17 with 7 minutes left, I'm not down on the team yet. Because 3 scores in 7 minutes with 3 timeouts, well, it's not that large of a deal. Or at least it's something I could prepare for anyway. But you're throwing away this 12-point comeback with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left, something that Brady Quinn would have absolutely no shot at doing. Now, the number 1 coach that I stated was Sean Payton. And after seeing what happened yesterday, even though Mike McCarthy didn't do anything, or Bill Belichick, I still have to tend to agree with that. In fact, if you look at the amount of receptions that were made by guys like Darren Sproles and Pierre Thomas, I think it was about a third to even about 2/5 of the receptions of that game were to running backs. In fact, New Orleans this season, 1/3 of their receptions went to running backs. Now, what does that mean? It means they are a threat at throwing the ball, screen passes in the flat, checking down 3-4 yards deep, anywhere on the field for that matter, and then making the plays with proper blocking. The Broncos this year had something like 30 some odd total receptions to running backs, maybe around 40, which is like an average of 3 per game. Man, you need 3 on your first quarter, even your first drive, especially with a quarterback like Tim Tebow. When you're able to effectively be able to throw out to the running backs, be able to have schemes for the tight ends, well, now you can pass the ball 40% of the time to receivers who should average 12, 13 yards a reception, although New Orleans players were averaging 15 yards a reception on the wide receiver side of the ball, and then make the plays happen. But John Fox doesn't get it. Now, I've went out taking the Denver Broncos plus the 9. The system of taking this game is to play the Broncos. The system is to play on any home underdog in the first round of the playoffs. My forced instinct, and my forced instinct to me means when I don't meditate, I don't like meditating, and for whatever reason I can't explain, I laugh at myself when I got the information around November that not only was Denver going to go to the Super Bowl, but they were going to get their ass destroyed big time, which would be like 40 some odd points, as around 14, 17, 18 point dogs, which means that they should win this game outright based on that. Using the X's and O's, however, you want to play the Pittsburgh Steelers minus 17. I mean, that should be a blowout. It should literally be a blowout because you got Mike Tomlin, who's a very good coach, in fact, the top 5 coach in the league, against, I'd have to say, a top 100, 500 coach in the world, if not top 5,000. And yet he's in the top league. That's why I don't think I'm going to win this bet. I think I'm going to go 1-3 with the win on the Giants. This was too long. Thank you for the 2, 3, 4 people that are still watching, and have yourself a great day.